Welcome back, guys. I'm back in Melbourne, and you might be wondering, why is the bonnet up? Why are we here? Why aren't we out exploring a new location? Well, the thing is, we had a problem. If you want to find out what that problem is, stick around, because in this video, we're going to start exploring the west coast of Tasmania and what it has to offer, but it comes at a cost. Alright, so I decided to come back into Strand today. In the last video, we finished at the Henty Dunes. And so I stayed out there the night, and I decided to come back in today because I'm not really sure what to do with my week. All the firefighting helicopters are still flying overhead and back up north, so I'm going to assume that those tracks are still closed. And I kind of hurried to get to this point so I could do those tracks, but now I'm not really sure what to do with my week. So we kind of took it slow today, came back into Strand. I went and looked at the old train station, but there were no old locos there, so nothing really to show. And now we're going to go for a bit of a walk to Hogarth Falls. Hogarth Falls is just a short walk. 1.2 k's each way it says, so shouldn't take us too long. So I've just pulled up outside of Zeehan. This is just on the side of the road really. You probably can't see it, but the road is just over there. There's a nice little freshwater river here. We're going to stay here for tonight because just up the road is the start of the Montezuma Falls four-wheel drive track. Now I can't say whether it's open or not. There's nothing stopping me at the start. I did go have a quick look. But does that mean that there's not something stopping me right at the end? I don't know. So that's going to be tomorrow's mission. We're going to go try and get to Montezuma Falls via the four-wheel drive track. But for today, I'm just going to end it chilling out here. This is the start of the Montezuma Falls four-wheel drive track. I'm gonna go ahead, let the tires down a bit, and then we'll start getting on our way. I have no idea what to expect. Might be doable, might not be. Let's see how we go. So we're maybe about halfway through this track, maybe a bit more, and there's an old mine shaft. What do you know? It's got an old cart track in there. I don't know if I'm keen enough to go in there, to be honest. This is terrifying. Wow. There's a lot of spiders in here and bugs. So I'll pass. But that goes a long way down. That's cool. I'm getting out. So we're a bit rutted out. We want to dodge this right side by the looks. I stuffed up. I recorded me walking up this hill, this little section here, and set the tripod up the top, and then stopped recording, went down, drove up it. So I didn't capture that at all. Oh well. Maybe you'll get it on the way down. I ain't doing it again. All right. We made it. That's the end of the four-wheel drive track. That took me 3 hours. That was bang on 3 hours from the start to here. Now, it's only apparently a couple hundred meters to the falls, so we're gonna go do that. And then it is another 3 hour drive back. So it's a long track, but I am going pretty slow. You could definitely do it a bit quicker. I wouldn't say you could do it much quicker, but a little bit. All right, we got a bridge here. I don't know how far it's gonna go. It's very skinny suspension bridge. Slowly, let's go. Slowly. I'm trying to go slow because I got nothing to hold on to. I'm holding the tripod in one hand and her and the camera in the other. Nice and slow. Oh wow. Stay, 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 don't move. I don't know what you guys can see, but that's the falls. That's massive. Wow, that's insane. Freya doesn't care about the falls. She's too busy sniffing shit. But take a look at that. Wow. How bloody good is that, huh? 6 hours total drive is probably a bit much, but yeah, I'd say it's worth it. All right. So that was Montezuma Falls. This was probably the only plan for today, being that it takes so long. My plan is to just camp where I did last night, because I don't think I'll get back there till 5 o'clock. Now we're back at the little hill climb where I accidentally stopped recording and missed it. So we go down it now. It was pretty easy to get up. So there should be no trouble getting down. We're good. Oh, a little bit of a backslide there, that got scary. We're all right. That is it. Well, made it back out. The track wasn't that hard. It was quite easy, really. It was just slow going. It was 2.5 hours for me to get back out, 3 hours for me to get in. In total, including going and looking at the waterfalls, it took me 6 hours and 15 minutes. So, quite a long time, really. My average speed on the way back out was about 8 k's an hour, and I did 15 k's. So on the way in, obviously that would have been a little bit slower. So I'm just airing back up, and I'm readjusting my shocks because I changed them before doing that track. And I noticed something a bit odd. The angle of that sway bar is a bit weird. Well, that's because it's broken. It snapped the mounts off. I'll cable tie that up out of the way, and it is what it is. So I'm in Roseberry right now, and I've kind of got all these people looking at me like I'm a weirdo when I'm looking at that. They're all looking at me like I'm weird, hanging around their house, but you guys have that as a view from your house. You can't blame me for stopping and looking for 5 minutes. Oh man, it hasn't gone well. So I try and explore and find the secret spots, and well, this track was very overgrown. I've done a light, I've done this rear flare, this whole side got smashed. This front guard is done, this flare's done, and I'm gonna need to get the saw out because this tree's now over the track. Oh man, that's not cool. I'm doing a fair bit of damage recently. No good. Well, that track was dumb and painful. It was just overgrown, and bloody trees got in the way. I had to try and back all the way out of it. And yeah, that just destroyed that guard. The tree just jammed right into it. Look at that. Man. So Montezuma was good. Me trying to find camp, on the other hand, was not. So I come into this spot here, and there's like 2 or 3 spots, there's bugger all. I came down here and I seen that there was no good spots, so I was like, oh, I'll go for a drive and try and find a better one. So I went up the main road a little bit, and then just seen the track and took off down it. And following that track, it just got tighter and tighter and tighter. I pushed my way through it pretty hard to get to where I was without getting out and chopping trees. A tree just got turned straight into that guard. And then another one also came down behind me, which I must have broke it going in. So when I came back out and I couldn't see because the mirrors were folded in, that when I was reversing back, it actually had fallen over, and that's what did my rear flare and my tail light. Is that tree had fallen over as I went through that way, and I'd backed straight back up into it, not knowing that it had fallen over. I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful as time goes on. Like, I have the luxury that my home is in Melbourne, so I can go back and I can fix things as I'm passing back through, because well, that's where the boat goes. But once I start heading up Queensland and whatnot, there's no coming back home, so I won't be able to fix stuff like I have the luxury of fixing now. So I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful, I think. I was going to move today, but the people that had the best spot here ended up leaving this morning. So I thought, stuff it, I'll stay an extra day and I'll move to this spot here. And it is absolutely mint. How good is that? Well, it's time to leave this amazing spot. But I'm sure there'll be something else that's just as good along the way. We're going to head to Trial Harbour, see what the go is there, and from there we'll make up a plan. Well, I'm here, the climbing track. Now, sadly we can't do it. There is a road close sign, so I'm not going to risk it and try and do the track. I don't know how you can see behind me, but it's pretty smoky out this way. Guess we'll just have to come back. We'll continue on. Get back in the car. Move over. Move over. We'll continue on to Trial Harbour and go have a look. But that is a no on the climbings. So I've made my way into Granville Harbour. It's a long weekend, so there are quite a few people getting about on motorbikes and side-by-sides and whatnot. That's all good. The spot I've managed to pull into, there's no one else around, not yet anyway. It's about 3:30 now, so there might still be a few more people coming, maybe not. But most people are at the start of the track, and I've had quite a few keep going down past me. I'm going to chill here for the afternoon. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to head north along the coastline to Pyman Heads, and then from there we'll start making our way back towards Devonport. I did go to this end of the climbing's track as well today, and there were a couple people sitting at the start, and I spoke to them, asked if they had just done the track or if they were planning to do the track. They said they went down the track for about half an hour, and there was a car that was stuck in a river or something, some crossing, and whoever owns that car or whatever has just left it there. So I'm not sure if that was actually completely blocking the track, but I'd say that's where they turned around, the people that I was talking to, because there was no road closed sign at this end of the track, whereas as I showed before, there was a road closed sign up the other end. So not sure what to go with that is. I think we'll still just give it a miss, and we'll go this way instead. Alright, so the plan this morning is to follow this coast all the way to Plyman Heads. I do see a fire over that way, like the big one that's been going on. I still see it burning over there. So I'm not sure what the go is going to be. The plan is to get to Plyman Heads and then cut back inland to Corinna, where I'll then be back on the main road and start heading back towards Devonport. But the fire is in the direction of Corinna, so I'm not going to be sure what happens if I make it to Corinna. I don't know if I'll be able to continue on that way or if I'm going to have to double back the way I came a bit. We'll find out. Ready, set, go, go. Go, Freya. So we have made it to Plyman Heads. It's a pretty easy track. It is a nice kind of scenic track, especially if it wasn't for the fires that have just been through there. But all like the big boulders and stuff along the way is pretty good to look at. There's a few little fun lines, not too many on the track that I went on, but there's a couple. Other than that, it's really easy. It's completely dry at the moment. You could probably get a two-wheel drive through there. We're just going to go for a drive up this beach. Probably let Freya have a run around for a bit. And then try and figure out where we go from here. How we get back to a main road. Alright, so we've had a bit of an issue. We were booting it down the beach and the car just lost a heap of power. So I stopped, and when I stopped I noticed a heap of smoke coming out coming out from under the car. Not knowing what it was, I just shut the car off. Had a look, and it's coming out the exhaust. I'm not sure what the problem is. I've just sat here, let it cool down, The oil looks fine, the coolant looks fine. Everything looks okay. I had a heap of people here stop and have a look with me and offer to help me out. Had a good chat with them. So now I'm just going to pull the intake off and have a look inside the turbo, see if the turbo's had a problem. That's the only thing I can think of. So I'll let you know how that goes. So the turbo looks fine. There is a slight bit of shaft play, but other than that, looks fine. There's no oil like build up, like not pissing out anywhere. It still smells a bit weird when I give it a rev, but it's definitely not smoking like it was. Seems kind of normal. The only thing I've found is the intake. The air filter kind of sucked up into the intake. So I'm thinking that it just took too much air and just collapsed the air filter into the intake and choked it out. So I'm going to chuck a new air filter in there and hopefully that fixes the problem, because I've got to still get back to Devonport. It is currently 2 o'clock. Granted, I don't have to be in Devonport till tomorrow. I want to start making my way there now. So air filter in, put it all back together, and we'll just limp it back down the beach and see what happens. All right, so car is idling. There is not an absurd amount of smoke coming out of it. So it must be all right. It's been idling for a couple of minutes now. I would say that we have fixed our issue. That turbo sounds. That's not ideal. I think that turbo's done. Well, that's bad. Shit. I'll tell you what, now is probably the time where I'm happy I bought beat locks, because it's pretty soft right here, and I did just get stuck on a hill behind me. They're down at, I don't know, 4 PSI right now, so they're down pretty low because I can't give it any throttle to get anywhere. This turbo sounds horrendous. I have to be back in Devonport tomorrow. The boat is Monday morning, so that's about a 3-hour drive. Obviously I can't drive my car. So the turbo has definitely decided to start eating itself. So I'm just stuck here in Granville Harbour. Just sitting here, waiting for a tow truck. Got one coming tonight, and he'll get me back to Devonport. I'll sit around in Devonport until Monday morning. So I'll just sit there doing nothing tomorrow, and then Monday morning I'll limp the car onto the boat, try and get a car trailer from Geelong back home. I don't know how well you can see, but I don't know what the back looks like, but that's the front, starting to touch on the housing. God knows why, and the turbo's probably only done 10,000 Ks. So that's pretty shit of it. But what do you do? Well, it's 2 AM. I've just been dropped off by the tow truck at a car wash in Devonport because, well, the car needs to be cleaned to get on the boat. So I've just washed that. I'm going to go find somewhere to hide in Devonport for the night. Whether I'm meant to stay there or not, I really don't care. We'll go find somewhere to sleep, hang around till the boat on Monday. Well, that is my Tassie trip done and dusted. I would like to go back because there's still so much more to see. 4 weeks is truly not enough to get around Tassie. But first, we got to get this thing fixed, get back on the road, and head on our next adventure. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.